Chat, here we go. We got a 2v2 mix-up in EU. We've got Zen, Oski, Atto, Nas, and Tempo. The bots have taken over ranked, and so we've got ourselves a nice lobby playing for $100. These guys playing alongside every one of their various teammates against every other possible opponent. Winner is whoever gets the most wins. It'll be 15 2v2 games, and we wanted to get into it real quick. I just barely got the overlay up. I've got a few more things to set up as we got started, but I didn't want to make these guys wait any longer, as I'm sure they want to get grinding. It is not a best of 5 between these two that you see right here on the overlay. It is going to be a best of 1. It'll be the only time these exact teams play against each other, but we will see every duo. I think it's about 3 times together against the 3 different matchups they can play against. You guys have sent me a few subscriptions, which I greatly appreciate, but I need to get my overlay for that working here. I got this all started real fast, so there's a few subs you guys are gonna get scammed, as Oski and Atto will score first. Everything should be going here now soon. Liam's lurking, they have the 7 months tier 1. Beastin all day, they have the 45 months of tier 1. And Jekyll the Cat, they have the 20 months tier 3. At a corporate orientation, put my entire salary in Tempo. Oski, Atto, Zen, Tempo, and Nas. Nas is the one sitting out that you can't see. I do need to get an overlay up for him. I think I know how to do that. It's Jorge. Thank you for the tier 2. And Hep Siegel, or it's Jorge, thank you for the tier 1. Hep Siegel, thank you for the tier 2. I'm gonna get an overlay up that's just gonna count the amount of wins that each person has gotten so far. And it should look nice and fancy once I get it all going. We've got Zen, we've got Nas, we've got Oski, we've got Atto, we've got Tempo. If we have a tiebreaker, we'll figure that out when we get there. Oh, I need that to align left or align right, actually, might even be better. Give me 1 second to figure that out. This is going to be absolutely amazing. You know, YouTube really loves great intros, and there's nothing better than an intro where I just search around trying to figure out how to make the overlay look nice. The best possible intro there is, some say. Okay. That looks good to me. Except now we're going to put a 0 on all their various wins. There we go. Zen will now equalize. Zen, Tempo, Oski, Atto is our game number 1. Actually, you know what? I lied. I've got more things to update. There we go. Take the best stuff out of there so it's not tricking anybody into thinking that this is a series being run just between these guys. Now, I always planned on doing this in the past couple weeks, but I've been a little bit busy because whenever the bots seem to take over, you know, players are more interested in running a bunch of different 2v2 lobbies like this to get practice. But it's gotten so bad that the players have actually started basically setting it up themselves. I think there's like a 2v2 private Discord that they have, and long shots just stole away. Didn't expect that to be a goal, but it does work out. The air dribble from Atto just gets sent all the way the length of the field. These guys have just started to do it themselves. They have a Discord in which they load up 2v2 ranked, or not 2v2, essentially 2v2 ranked, 2v2 private matches against themselves, grind them out probably until someone has to leave, see who else they can get in there. Not quite 2-mans, I don't think, because I don't think they're running different matchups or best of threes or having any MMR related to it. They're just trying to get their twos lobbies that they're used to getting. And apparently, the easy anti-cheat is going to be going in somewhat soon. According to the announcement a while ago, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to come in on April. What a save from Zen. That really felt like Oski and Atto, Old Liquid, were going to break their way through there. No Mario buffer. Yeah, for anybody who is getting used to the recent streams, I was not going to make these guys wait 30 minutes or, you know, obviously a little bit less. I never quite take 30 minutes to do my Mario speedrun in order for us to get started. It was a little bit more of a scramble. I think it's 5 straight goals for Zen and Tempo after it started in favor of Oski and Atto. You played some bots in Snow Day yesterday? Interesting. The bots are even creeping into Snow Day. You know, I guess you can get SSL rewards. You can get any sort of rewards from any of the... you just don't get the title, right? Or do you get the generic title if you get it only in Snow Day? You might just get both, honestly. I'm not sure. But why would the bots want to go to Snow Day? That is confusing to me. Nice late 50. Atto pulling back off the ball as it gets near the nets. By the way, shout out the hype train that started. So many people subbed to open this up. I do think it is going to die now, though. Kickoff win for Oski and Atto. Great scoring chance here. They might be able to get themselves back in this game. They lost 5 straight goals in order to go down in what seemed like game number 1 for Zen and Tempo. But they're working their way back in. I need to try and make sure I don't mess up any of the matchups throughout this whole process. It's a very easy thing to lose track of, but I have a nice spreadsheet that should make it clear who's played with who and what the current scoreline is. My second, maybe the 6 months prime. Gonna need to be 0-second goal here for Oski and Atto. Tempo actually tapped this one away into the control of Atto. Oh my goodness, how is that staying up in the air? Zen has to play 1v2 defense. He does cut off Atto. Tempo gets it around Oski. That'll hit ground, and Zen and Tempo will be your first winners. I believe they won, what, 5-4? I'll keep all the stats best I can. Zen and Tempo win the game number 1. Let me put $100 in the title. I've offered $100 to whoever gets the most wins here in this 2v2 mix-up. Zen won this the last time we ran it. We ran a really high-level lobby. It was Zen, Nas, Atto, Nupo, and for some reason I'm forgetting the 5th who rounded that one out. But Zen ultimately came out the victor in that one. Was it a juicy? Maybe it was. No Saudi Arabian players, although I did reached out to them today because Saudi E-League is going on right now. I think the qualifiers that even the top dogs have to play in are being played. So no Ramas, Killiers, TRK, Nupo, and I guess Drally, Monkey Moon now probably qualify as those players as well. I'm sure they're playing alongside their respective teams. You get to play in a lot more tournaments whenever you move to a MENA team. Atto is going to steal away this goal that, to be fair, he did rightfully earn, if you ask me, outplaying both Oski and Nas. Got them to jump right on top of the ball. Zen sent it towards the net, and Atto will be the last one to touch it. $100 doesn't even buy you an SSL title account. Sleazeberries, how do you know how much an SSL title account costs? Lar2, thank you for the 46 months, tier 1. Just a little bit suspicious on your part. Atto up early enough to convince Oski and Nas to shoot wide. Nas actually got a really convenient respawn there. Looks like we're on Atto POV. I don't know if I did that on accident or if Director Cam just refuses to switch POV. Atto has Zen waiting. Actually fake the pass. Try to take a shot. Zen's reset's not going to mean much. Oski's there to clear it away. Is it actually live or are we watching a replay? We're watching live games right now. 2v2 mix-ups are kind of formats that have been run a lot. As Ato's going to go cringe for the second goal. It's a good way to get lots of different teammates, lots of different high-level lobbies. Zen quit the game, so this is pre-recorded. I don't know if you're just trying to make a pre-recorded joke or if there was any sort of joking about Zen quitting the game. There has been a lot of, you know, threats about the game dying. Hashtag RL need changes, I think is what the hashtag is that Vatira put out. It even got Rawas, by the way. Oh, that's a nice backboard double. It got Rawas to say something, which I'm pretty sure in his tweet, according to the translation, you never know how good it is on Twitter. It said, you know, I like to be a positive guy. I don't like to go out and, you know, be negative, but Rocket League needs changes. He got in on it. It's like, listen, you're in big trouble if you get Rawas to even get behind it. Apparently Jack did a video. That's unsurprising. It's like, how else? You can't not do a video about it when every ranked game they play is against bots. If you're playing right now. Zen and Atto are so good. I forgot about this duo until right now. I forgot this Zen Atto duo was the one who absolutely farmed our double or nothing 2v2 tournaments. These guys coming away with the maximum prize of $4,000 split between the two. And people speculate we'll be seeing Zen and Atto playing together in 2v2 RLCS. As we get closer, it seems like teams are getting more solidified. Once upon a time, people were implying Drally and Monkey Moon were going to play together in twos. Now apparently Nupo and Drally. It's still a Twisted Minds and Team Falcons, you know, crossover, but a slightly different crossover than we maybe expected. Presumably the twins will be playing together. And I don't know what the if Vitality and KC will be, you know, teaming up with their fellow teammates that aren't Zen and Atto. Or Zen and Atto maybe don't even end up playing each other or with each other. Who knows? But it definitely seems like they should, based on what we've seen. Zen and Atto versus Slater when? So I've gotten news from Naga, the developer of Slater, as Atto pre-jumps Nas yesterday. He has, I don't think he's been working on getting Slater to EU necessarily. What he's been doing instead is making an even better Slater. He's trying to make Slater 2.0. I won't reveal the name. He showed me a screenshot of his new bot beating Slater. So, which is funny because I think Slater was already unbeatable. So why he feels the need to make an even better unbeatable bot, who knows? But that is what he's up to now. When is the 11 to 2-a-thon? Yeah, every time we just take a little bit more of the... Wait, Zen left the match? Huh? Zen DC? Huh? Are we... Crash? Just let it play out? Or do we want to get hit? Okay, sounds good. Not to call forfeit for Nas and Oski who are down, you know, a ton of goals. Let's see. Let's put some time back on it. We'll finish it off. Zen game crash. Does that never happen in RLCS? It just seems like, I mean, like, obviously we get pauses all the time, but Zen just got insta-booted from the match, which you don't see super often. You usually see controller DC or something. EU2's finals? Yeah, Oski Nas versus Zen Atto is actually a great point. I think Oski and Nas are, you know, rumored to be playing the 2's RLCS together after, as we talk more about the 2's RLCS. At least they're one game that they're going to get to play in this exact, you know, 4 players today is going to go in favor of Zen and Atto. I like how you could feel so good about back passing. You can just slot a top right own goal and you know Zen's got you. He'll clean it up. Zen remains undefeated. Tempo actually undefeated as well, but he took a seat for this game. Oh, double reset to the ground. All right, this one was 5-1. Oski Tempo and then Atto Nas. Will it be Vatira Juicy? I don't necessarily know. What will the 1s and 2s format look like? I think all of this. I don't know if it's intentional, if it's being kept, you know, secret intentionally, because Blast knows that nobody needs to really worry about it until after Paris Major anyways. And then they're going to reveal format and how everything's going to go down. But it does seem to need to be addressed before too long. And until we know for sure, then I don't think we really have locked in teams. We can speculate as much as possible. Nice low 50. Atto gonna get himself a goal. Playing alongside Nasty, the Boston Major champion and MVP. You don't know why Atto is on Fraud Watch in RLCS? He seems good. Did someone say Atto was on Fraud Watch? Did KC, you know, not win an event one time or not make a grand final one time and everybody's ready to panic? I didn't get to watch EU in the last Open. But Atto, ooh, nice. Ripping a musty here for the second goal. Doing this all by himself. Oski backs off and he does some mate's crime. Wow, that's a ripper. I think what's interesting is, you know, looking at what's been happening with the Falcons. That's been a more interesting storyline. We got people going live talking exclusively about what they feel is the problem with the Falcons. Everyone's scratching their heads, and I think we very well, you know, could see an eventual improvement from them. But I think it goes to show team makeup and, you know, so many other things can make up a team's performance and what makes them play well. Who knows what's going on in any of these teams, even if they haven't necessarily changed roster to mix everything up. Oski not able to find much out of his resets. Nas actually rolling through. Seemed like he got the bump. Oski powered through it. Atto has to buy a bit of time for his team, and he's done that. 50 in the first, and then slowing Tempo down. But Tempo ground dribble. Oski tried to bump Nas, and Nas escapes, stays calm. I mean, he escapes, I think, by doing nothing. He didn't jump up, didn't panic, and just went underneath. But good defense. Oski, careful dribble. But Atto up early, as he has been all lobby long, in order to stop off those air dribbles. Atto, interesting decision to use the backflip. He was over the top of the ball, and so he was definitely going to be, you know, missing, not following it up, making a real play. So usually you want to save your flip and get ready to recover as quick as possible, but he actually just uses his backflip to push himself even deeper towards the net. Maybe because he planned on the in and out recovery. I don't know if he thinks that's faster or just felt the need to maybe throw something towards the nets. Tempo, big dunk. Oski can't get back this one to really create anything out of it. He will get a boost steal. As Tempo brings it out to the midfield to Oski. First touch resets. Can there be a follow-up from Tempo? He does pick up the back corner 100, but he couldn't even prevent Nas from picking up the midfield 100, so it's not even really a boost-starving play. As Oski Now taking this to the left wall. Boost control is just big time in favor of Atto and Ness. And so it doesn't feel like Oski and Tempo have a real scoring opportunity. Ooh, Tempo miss in the corner. No goals for Oski and Tempo. And maybe there's a chance to fix it right here. Oski's playing on like 10 boost. But maybe he can get something going. Nope, Tempo demoed. That would have been his chance. Pick up possession, do something with it. Or Oski, Atto and Nas can just go all in. That's also the other option. Nas and Atto can try and just clip on you when they're feeling comfortable late in the game. Now, all of a sudden, a free goal, maybe a kickoff, and they could be in big trouble. Could be handing away what was otherwise seemingly going to be a free win here. Oski and Tempo into the orange half. Oski delaying, tried the front flip to scoop the ball himself and score, but it does get cleaned up. Nas following this ball off of Atto's dribble. Tempo doesn't have the ball in the air. Oski needs to get it up, which he's done. He's going to delay, flick, should be an easy save. Atto did not send it towards the ground. He actually popped it out towards the midfield. Maybe could have kept it going, but ultimately Atto and Nas win 2-1. We continue on with what I believe is now our fourth game. Oski Nas versus Zen Tempo. We've seen Zen Tempo play, but they played against Oski Atto. Nas in there now to see if they can get a different results. Tempo no longer undefeated. Zen still undefeated. Nas not undefeated. I think it's just Zen. Zen might be the only one undefeated. Rashomon, maybe the 20 months tier 3 because Nas took a loss to Zen already. Zen can keep the dream alive. I'll say it right now. If Zen can go undefeated through this whole entire 2v2 mix-up, I'll give him an extra 100. Oski, I mean, it's just so hard, I think, in twos to stay undefeated as good as you are. That being said, Zen and Atto as a duo in the double or nothing, when they were winning, they were not losing games at all. They did ultimately lose a series, so when they first lost their game, I think they actually lost a series to Oski and Toxic, but when they were winning, they were not dropping anything. Tempo able to dunk and slow down Oski and Nas. This is the other duo that everyone's really excited about. We saw Oski and Nas versus Zen Atto. Zen Atto crushed it. But maybe this Oski Nas duo is good enough to get a win when Zen doesn't have Atto on the squad. Oski cut across the net. Maybe force Zen to go up higher than he wanted to. Meanwhile, Nas chipped it around Tempo. And then is able to get that final beat. Why is it Zen Tempo again? I think a few people will probably have questions like that going forward. Zen and Tempo will play on the same team 3 times throughout the course of this whole brackets, or whatever you want to call it, this group. Because they'll have to play against every version of the other 3 combined for a 2s team. So Zen and Tempo have played Oski Atto. They're going to play right now Nas and Oski, and then to finish off, they'll play Atto and Nas. Oski, delay flick into Zen's car. Nas should be able to score this. Tempo not back to stop him. Maybe got chased off slightly. I can't really see it off screen. Oski and Tempo both went into that corner. Tempo comes back. Maybe not with very much boost either. He could have been bumped away. Oski might have done the hard work while no one was watching. Oski was maybe thinking about starting an air dribble, but he gets a friendly bump from his teammate, and so he thinks again. Fortunately, no one was really challenging. He just backs up and starts it again, just a bit further back. Nas takes this over the top of Zen, gets the reset, 0 boost. Tempo can't save it. It was as slow as you could hope for if you're Tempo. but it was positioned well enough. I think he got a little overexcited there. Feels backflip. He pre-jumped and he was trying to get back down to the ground, but he ends up tapping it in. Zen and Tempo going to play from behind. Zen. Oh, look at that dash as he landed right at the corner to get extra speed. Not like your normal curve dash. He dashed into the curve instead of out of the curve. Zen backflipping, hoping for a 1v1. Oski did well to challenge. Tempo's all alone, but he handles the long shot. Zen demo. Now he has another 1v1. Only for a moment, though. Nas going to respawn. Zen decides to go for a power shot. Oski handles it well. Boost grab at the midfield for Zen. Got faked by Nas as Nas looked like he was going to take it in field. And now Tempo getting chased around. Good save. Oski has chased Tempo around multiple times now, trusting in Nas to get that first beat, get themselves closer to the net. Tempo missed the double. Zen's follow-up. It wasn't so much a double. I think it was a pass from Zen off the back wall, but the read off the backboard, I should say. Zen, he's going to shoot at an open net. Nice beats. Just got to the ball quicker than the defender. Nas playing from directly underneath the ball. Could not get there faster than Zen. He drops the sorry in the chats. And it's 59 seconds for Zen and Tempo to keep it going. I mentioned Zen and Tempo won their last time around. Ooh, Nas gonna go top right. Zen has yet to lose is what I meant to say. But this might just be the one. Kickoff lost seemingly intentionally back to Nas. And he speeds it past Zen to make it 4-2. Zen resets. Dunked. Tempo gonna have a chance if he can get one more. Yes, reset on the top. Zen took out Nas and said, Tempo, you get to go 1v1 against the late recovering Oski. And Tempo was up for the challenge. Reset just outside the box. Slams it into the post, force Oski to own goal. And now, within one, tons of time. Zen able to pick up the midfield 100. Nas pinches it away, but at the cost of possession, and has no boost here at the midfield either because Zen was the one to take it. Now Zen just takes a straight dribble towards net, settles for outplaying one defender as Zen and Tempo try and find a way through. Tempo past the midfield. Zen wasn't quite ready for it. Seemed to give it the respect, but just a little bit too late, so couldn't catch up to it. Nas going to find Oski, who does not shoot on the first touch. Goes for the second and gets it in. Just barely over the top of Zen and nets. Zen, you can see him bail out quickly when he realized Oski wasn't shooting on the first touch, but it's just placed so well. So much power for a pretty tough angle. And Oski and Nas are going to make sure nobody goes undefeated in this. There's the next. I don't know if they talked about that both, but we'll let it go next. Oski and Nas get the win over Zen Tempo. Nas and Tempo could start off strong against the duo that is the toughest to beat, and they will. It seemed like Atto had gotten back to stop the kickoff goal. I don't know where Zen is at right now. Oh, Zen comes back into the corner and then gets bumped by Atto. But I guess maybe if Zen didn't get bumped, he probably gets back in time. This is a pretty slow shot. So a team bump from the dynamic duo results in playing from behind. Zen air dribbles to the top left all by himself. Did not need much help. Tempo, wait, did Tempo bump Nas again? Is this another team bump? I didn't quite catch why no one was there in net. Nas came swinging around late, but I think I saw two blue cars next to each other down on the ground, so it might have just been a team bump the other way to result in a goal. Zen bailing out of his redirect out of the corner. Tempo picking up boost far away from the play. Gonna try and slow play this if allowed, and they are gonna let him. Gets it around Zen. Pass. It's just a really clean 2v2 play. And watching from Tempo POV, it really felt like somebody needed a challenge a little bit earlier. I don't know if Zen was thinking Atto would turn in, but instead he rotated back. He was on 0 boost. Forced Zen to challenge late and allow a Tempo who is really just too good to be given that much time on the ball. And he was able to beat everybody. And now kickoff goal, Nass in Tempo's favor. Nass just close cheating. I mean, faster than Zen, who was right up behind him. The degree to which you cheat is always a bit of a risk based on how the kickoff goes. Gamble pays off for the blue team. And they're up 3-1. I think RLCS 2 is going to be just so much fun. I mean, I really love the addition of ones. And I think if they could expand the ones tournaments a little bit more than they did last year, I think it could be even better. I think that's really what it comes down to, honestly, for both, though. I think I'm going to be a little bit disappointed if the 2s are only, you know, one team from each region as well. Because there's so much opportunity for great matchups if we can get just a little bit more. Give us just double. Just give us 2 teams from each region. This dunk is headed straight to the nets. Zen bumped Nass, maybe succeeded in doing so. And then Tempo couldn't clear it around Atto. Zen trying to get a ball to fall down for Atto. We got 3 minutes still on the clock. So much time. Who's the best 2s player at the moment? Chat, who would you say is the best 2s player at the moment in the game? Zen fakes this pass, or did he get a soft touch? Because they did follow his POV. Zen, I think a lot of people just said Zach, maybe because Zach is currently rank 1. I think I actually saw a good amount of NA rank 1. Are there less NA bots? Not that I don't believe in my NA brethren, but normally just because of how ranked works, Europe has more points, I think, available up in the upper echelon. So there's usually European players mostly in the top 10, but I feel like I actually saw NA had maybe more in the top 10 without actually counting them. There's usually less NA bots. I mean, that would make sense if EU bots or the bots are farming more EU MMR. Oh, but I think I saw mostly Zens, and I think that's right. I think Zen is known to be, you know, just elite at 2s for all time. I mean, I think NA's best 2s player is Daniel, based on what I've heard. Is the easiest to play with Daniel in ranks. Daniel seems to be the guy to look to for 2s in NA. Zen, nice air dribble resets. And still 2 minutes left now. And Zen and Atto have their lead. We're used to seeing them have. Even the botting in EU is better. Oh, I just imagine a situation where it's like it's first touch, or it's the you know, where the ranking streams Johnny and T-Bates and Johnny. Even the bots in EU are better. I mean, the bots in EU are so much better than the bots in NA. Just can't help but even hype up the cheaters. That's a funny thought. Atto is off the ceiling right now, aggressively waiting upfield. Zen's able to 50 with a reset. Atto fake challenge, instead wave dashing back. Nass just sailed that. Zen Is this a pass for himself or Atto? Not really sure. He tries just to stick with the air dribble off the ceiling. "34 seconds for Nas and Tempo to bring this back." I think they have 2 different kickoff goals in this game, which does not bode well for them. Maybe only scored once on the open field, and they're definitely in the open field right now. Not going to get a kickoff scenario. Wait, this pinch is maybe going to create an opportunity off the demo. Tempo trying to pass to himself. Nice wave dash. Got it around Atto. Atto's actually back. I was wrong. You didn't get around Atto. Atto just had a roundabout way to challenge, and ultimately took it away. Zen's going to pass it back to his buddy, and Atto will be able to play it around the desperate Tempo. It needs to be a bump if there's going to be a world in which Nas scores this, and there is no bump. So Zen and Atto will win 4-3. Oski and Zen versus Atto and Tempo. The standings currently have Zen and Atto tied. 2 of those wins come from playing together. Oski and Tempo have an opportunity to decide who's in last here. And Zen and Atto have an opportunity to decide who's in first. Tied for last, tied for first. It'll be settled right here in this match, as Oski air dribbles, gets his resets stopped out before Atto has to do anything. These matches are very fun to watch. Thank you for hosting them, Feer. Thank you. That's a oddly nice message from a regular stream viewer. That's not normally what you guys sound like. Atto gonna try and dribble the length of the field. Didn't get a reset there. Tempo. Great save by Oski. Felt like a 50 was going to be very easy to win from Tempo's position, and yet Oski easily saves it off target. Tempo, high lob. Oh my goodness, Tempo! I thought this was going too high, but he sent the ball high enough to get a downward angle on the double and reads that perfectly to send it straight down in for a bouncing goal. Tempo absolutely popping off. Tempo has a highlight reel. What do they call those? What are the I'm too unk. What are they? Montage? That's the word. Tempo has a montage that some people have said is the best montage in the game. Who's got the best montage in the game? Last time I asked, a lot of people said Nush. A lot of people said Tempo, but those are probably the 2 biggest names. Oh, maybe it's Arakiyama. Tempo, we're hyping him up. He's gonna get another goal. Able to dodge the demo as Oski glides through, and Zen maybe thought Oski was gonna disrupt him just a little bit more, felt comfortable cheating up. It turns out Tempo was in full control. Sir Chris of Spades saved the 9 months tier 1. It's Araki Ahmad. We're passing ships in the night when it comes to getting him on a show match. I'll ask him if he's down, and he won't be able to play. It'll be a time he's not very, available, and then he'll hit me up on Steam or something, a time when I can't stream, saying he's down for matches. I hope to get him on some more. He's very fun to watch. Atto just does not have enough boost to really do anything too meaningful from here, even though he's fairly efficient with what he had. Atto and the team bumps, dude. I don't know why we've seen so many pros just bumping into each other here in these lobbies. But he does say sorry. That's good manners. Tempo, side flip, Lobbed it up to Zen. Atto has had really good ceiling level challenges. Has been meeting air dribblers as early as possible. Tempo lob forward to Atto. Minute 14 left to go. They've kept Oski and Zen. Pretty lethal duo, you would think. Completely scoreless. This would put Oski in last and Zen in second. Ooh, zap dash recovery from Atto. You can see it from the opposite POV. Tempo, I think, might be getting himself another goal. This is actually slightly off target, and he's not going to dive in. Zen, though, was worried about the dive and panicked, resulting in another goal for Atto and Tempo. Going to have to be 3 straight kickoff wins, I would imagine, and I'm not sure this kickoff is good enough. Tempo able to guide the follow-up, the cheat from Oski to the side wall. Tempo bumped away. Oski and Zen are gonna have to settle here. Cannot imagine a world in which they get this back. Tempo, great early challenge. Oski and Zen. Oh, was that a pogo? Oski pogoing on the ground. Atto Tempo, what was it? 3-1 in their favor? Is that what the score? No, 3-0. Oh, I never started the YouTube stream. Whoops. Well, I'll post it to YouTube shortly after. Zen and Nas gonna score quickly within 12 seconds. Truly a frick YouTube moment. Rare +2. You guys hate the YouTubers that much? I actually think the right play, though, is to not stream this to YouTube anyways. I know it's tough for the YouTube fans, because this stream will end up matching the video almost exactly. There'll be a little bit trimmed out, right, for the video. And so splitting the views across 2 videos is actually probably not the play anyways. So sorry, YouTubers, that you're getting this slightly late and not live. Zen. Ooh, actually could have passed earlier, but now instead, Oski's going to have a wide open net. It was a 2-on-1, and I think Zen was hoping to get this ball over to Nas and then maybe run ahead to bump, but Oski just dove in and gets rewarded. Atto resets into 50 now. Oski and Atto getting something started. Zen's camping out on the ceiling in order to stop any high play. Does just that. Is going for a bump clearly, even though Director Cam is not showing us the truth. Surely they could add Director Cam but player POV, right? That's got to be. Can I get that? Rocket League. I like them automatically switching between relevant perspectives, but ideally they would be on player cam instead of forced ball cam. Zen off the back wall. Stopped early by Oski. Oski trying to go for a really tough double. Couldn't get the ball down in time. Swings back through and demos in order to help Atto, who was shadowing, buying time for Oski's return. Oski reset, faked Zen, go low, got him to miss. Got it over the top of Nas. Is it scoreable though? Zen and Nas might have done enough because even though they both got beat, neither one of them touching the ball, they make it impossible to get through both of them without putting the ball out of a scoring position. And then they buy themselves enough time to recover even without ever getting a touch. When will you see Zen, Nas, Vatsira, Nupo, and Daniel? I don't know. That exact combo, I would unfortunately say it's safe to say never. I mean, you never know, but... Nas. Ooh, Zen ultimately didn't take a shot. Nas, can he score this? What a recovery from Oski. We got to see it from defender POV. Oski found his way back. Just lacked a little bit on the flick. Has Zen won every mix-up he's ever played in? He won the one that I've run. I'm sure he's played on at least a couple more on Johnny's. He's caught losses, but I could see a world in which he's won every mix-up. He's probably played in a France one, I imagine. Atto, chip up to Oski. The two of them need something and they'll get it. The last minutes ready to tick off. Oski did not get a second touch, but Zen just dove in here off of Nas's touch to the corner and absolutely caught air. Zen stopping any opportunity. Now we got a tie game. This will be the first OT of this lobby if nobody scores in the next 30 seconds. Oski tried to change that. Follow up for Atto. Is it going to be free, right? Yes, it is. Oski and Atto get another one. Oski did such a good job of making it feel like Zen could not send it into his car. Seemed like he was trying to avoid that on his save. Instead puts it to the crossbar and it's a free follow-up for Atto. Oski does not need a goal here. Needs to just be a little bit safe. As Atto cuts off a Zen air dribble. This is going to get sent all the way to the blue half. Nas is going for a psycho in a moment which they absolutely need a goal. It's a great setup to Zen, who gets bumped off the ball. Zen goes up high, cannot get a double. Atto stops him, but the ball is still very much in the air as Nas catches, goes slow, flicks, and just barely misses. Nas had a great chance, but Oski and Atto will get the win. 3-2. Hey Fear, you think RLCS 2v2 can be higher level than 3v3 because pro play most in ranked than in scrims? No, not necessarily. I wouldn't say higher level. People have played more 2v2 ranked, yes, but they've definitely played more 3v3 scrims. Like of games they played with comms and at a serious, you know, competitive level in which they're analyzing their replays, adjusting their gameplay, coming up with, you know, all the other bits of attention that you give threes, I think would make it a better RLCS competitive product than twos out of the box. Now, don't get me wrong, twos out of the box is pretty up there because of how much they played in ranked. But I think that, you know, the meta hasn't been driven forward as much with tournaments and you know, really, really serious gameplay. Mostly people are just playing solo Q2s where they get randomly placed with a teammate, and I imagine their play styles are designed around you know, being able to win with anybody. But you play with one duo an extra long time in a competitive environment. I'm sure you learn different ways you can win as a duo that we probably don't see as much. Should we get rid of the yapping emote? You guys know that that's like my job, right? That's what I'm supposed to do. A guy asked a question, I start talking, chat goes, yap, 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 yap. Any chance you make the same mix-up for any players? I'd like to do any mix-up as well. Problem with that, as with anything right now, is they like to play when it's time to be a dad for me. So you never know. We probably have to plan a little bit more ahead of time. Ooh. Dunk as the in-and-out save was attempted by Tempo. Oski able to force it through. Tempo, Nas, and Oski all tied in last. Atto at 5. Atto's lost, though. I think he's only lost once. Let me look through here. He lost the opening game to Zen and Tempo, and then I think he's won every game since then. So an impressive run from Atto. But can he keep that up? Now teamed with Tempo. He's teamed with Tempo a bit ago against Oski and Zen. Kickoff goal going to keep this one equal. Do you do more NA content for us if we call you daddy? I'll do more NA content for you if you watch my children. Type 1 if you're down to babysit during the times in which I need to run NA show matches. I'm sure all of you guys collectively could do it. How could you mess it up? Around to reap the rewards of the Tempo hard work with the 50s. Quick recovery off the 50 with Nas. Able to force it out in front of the nets. Atto and Tempo not going to this kickoff. Both getting boosted in the tank. Atto has a 1v1 and he's going to go air dribble cringe. Nas sneaks around it and prevents the lead from getting any worse. Atto is up already and his shot is denied by Oski. Tempo saw from the back wall that his teammate was up ready to take the shot. He's going to shoot this one down. Nas covers it and Oski try to go quickly. Tempo had a pre-flip shot there, no? You give Tempo like one more chance at that. Oh, what a redirect. An ever so slight touch from Oski. Nas passes to himself out of the corner. Oski just gives it the feathery touch it needed to get it just inside the posts. What a redirect. 3-3. Nas gonna get demoed as he tries. Everybody just trading demos. As they all try and slow down to start a dribble, they become victims. Get taken off the map. Nas lob that so high. Another game tied as we approach final minute. Although I say that, Tempo is maybe going to score here before we even get there. Atto follow-up. Nice save from Nas. Quick recovery on the side wall. Tempo just trying to be a brick wall here. Keep this ball in play. And he has definitely kept it in the orange half, but no shooting angles. They wait for Nas really to take it away from the wall. Tempo sees Atto far away. Goes for it himself after the reset. And cannot find it. This one clears out to the blue back wall. Demo means Atto's going to have a bit of space. Interesting, lost control of it. He got a heavy touch. I'm sure he was hoping to give it to Tempo, but Oski saw his opportunity to strike and take it away. Tempo around Oski. First touch reset, pop too far away from the ball. 25 seconds left to go. Oski double into the control of Nas, who didn't have a ton of boosts to work with. Gives it away quickly. Tempo, this is on target. Tempo gives his squad the lead. Nas is swinging wide in defense here and never found his way back. Oski gets beat. I mean, Nas, I think he just took too long of a time. He took a detour on the way back to net. And now Atto and Tempo in the lead. 10 seconds left to go. Nas wants to keep this somewhere near the net. The defense was good enough. Nas passed to himself. Tempo is shadowing. He is playing shadow defense in the last second, and Nas slams the crossbar. That is back-to-back opportunities for Nas to clutch up and force OT. But he doesn't. And his team will lose because of it. Atto Tempo 4-3 over Oski Nas. Okay. Nobody's been playing ranked to boycott the bots. Is that what's been happening the past few days? I swear nobody has streamed or been playing. Apparently players are getting less hours in, but I don't think it's necessarily a boycott for the sake of the pros. They don't need to boycott. They just queue up, get into a bot, and go, okay, I'd rather not. I'd rather not. They have to play the bots. If a boycott were to happen down in the lower ranks, I played some ranked games today, and I ran into exactly 0 bots because I'm not good enough. So I probably have the ability to boycott. I guess I could boycott if I wanted to, but I'm not sure anything has been attempted to be, designed at that level. Right now, it's just the pros really have no choice but to not queue ranked, because otherwise they're just playing against bots, and they've had enough of that. I think that there was a discussion that I saw on Twitter. I think it was Roll Days saying players can't use not having ranked as an excuse for why they aren't playing well or why they aren't getting their hours up. And I think that he has a point slightly, but I would disagree with him in the sense that I'm going to give players the benefit of the doubt for a bit. And what I mean by that is bots just recently took over, and the culture, the habits, everything has been set up to practice a certain way, which includes a ton of ranked 2s. And that just got ripped out from underneath them within the last, month or so. If it continues, trust me, pros will come up with the ways in which they're going to get to play the game and practice. Over time, it will no longer be an excuse, because we've already seen this 2s Discord lobby pop up in which they just play private matches with each other now. They will find their ways around it. Don't get me wrong. It's just not, it's just not easy to instantly change. So I actually will give pros a bit more of a break if this 2s ranked body situation has thrown off their practice for a certain amount of time. At some point, you just have to accept that the game is broken and you'll have to find some other way to do it. That being said, we're going to get saved by easy anti-cheat, right? Type 1 in the chat if you're a believer. Easy anti-cheat is going to take away every single bot. It's all going to be fixed. It's only going to cost us Bacchus mod. Wait, why is everyone typing 2? You must have misheard me. Zen's going to have a wide open nets. You got DDoS yesterday? DDoS will be back. Bots will be gone. They'll bring back the DDoS. I don't think I've been a victim of any of the cheating methods. I'm just not good enough. I don't think they're really happening much at Grand Champ. You kind of have to be up real high. I mean, obviously they must have worked their way through Grand Champ, but it probably takes them like 2 wins. Because I'm sure if you win every single game, the MMR system pushes you up pretty quick. Right now, Atto is the guy to beat in this 2s lobby. and he is sitting on the sidelines. Zen and Tempo actually playing for a distant second place here in this round. Tempo could go up to 4 wins. Gonna break this tie no matter what. Seems like it's gonna be Zen into second place. But it'll be tough. Zen is gonna need, whoever's gonna try and dethrone Atto is gonna need him to be playing a bit worse, and there's really nobody in the lobby who is playing off today, I would say, to where you can rely on, you know, somebody to tank Atto if he teams with them. He seems to be winning with everybody. His one loss was with Oski, but I think we're far from crying that Oski can't hang. He's actually going to push himself into not last. It's going to be Nas who will be in last if this game holds. And again, it would be insane to imply that Nas is not a great twos player. Nas faking here. Oski goes high and Nas sneaks in underneath him. Is the 22nd of April, have they announced it? Have they announced a day in which they're actually implementing it or whatever? I thought it was just generically April. Tempo trying to outplay. Oh, what a setup from Tempo. Nas took out the last defender, and Tempo needed to just beat Zen, and he popped it just over the top of him. Almost got it in without any help, but at least kept it near nets. Soft touch means it's going to be easy to follow up and not, you know, bounce away and be the only opportunity they have. Really just great play from Tempo to make something out of Nas's demo. 3-3. Zen hovering behind the ball, trying to dish it off to Oski, who's going to die in the process. Nas going quickly. Heavy first touch. Zen pre-jumps it. Nas goes low. Oski's respawned by now. Still no overtimes in this lobby yet. But a chance for another one, maybe. Zen. Shot is in! The word overtime is a curse. Zen, huge lob to himself. One touch reset. One more touch is enough. Just booms a shot 91 kilometers per hour over the top of Tempo, the player he's playing against, to steal second. Oski, wait, he got another goal. He got bumped away, but he side flips in the process and gets to slow roll it in. Nas was trying to get a possession. Nas attempting one last dribble for fun. Zen and Oski will win 5-3. I wonder if Zen, I'd have to go double check, but Zen maybe has won every game he hasn't played against Atto. Oh yeah, I need to add a win for Oski and Zen. Zen pass it to himself off the ceiling, resets, and gets it around Atto. I was updating the scoreboard, but I watched it back in the replay, and it's a pretty good play, I'd say. Atto could definitely still lose. Yeah, 6 games left. Atto, how many does he have to sit out? Of these last few games, he has 1 more to sit out. So he has 5 more games. His best score is 11. Zen, just about everybody has one last one to sit out. Oski has 2 to sit out because Oski's sitting out right now, and he has 1 more to sit out as well. So Oski is in the toughest spot. He has, you know, a little bit of a lead over Nas if they're trying to, you know, claw for every little inch. I'm just gonna give $100 to whoever wins. I've mentioned it a few different times, but I'll mention it again in case anybody showing up late. You're going to see each duo 3 separate times playing with each other. So Atto and Tempo will play with each other 3 different times. What's different is the duo they're playing against in those 3 games. As Atto able to get a tight angle shot for another one. Atto has only lost a single game. He lost the opening game with Oski to Zen and Tempo. Since then, undefeated. And it's probably because somebody said Atto was on Fraud Watch or something early on in the stream, which I did not realize, but that chatter has powered this result. You want NAS POV? We can stick with it one POV for a bit. I like watching POVs sometimes as they are on player cam. Player cam is just so much better. But also at the same time, I don't want to do the work of switching the cameras. We can watch a little bit of NAS POV. NAS, as we switch to his POV, finds a way to equalize here. Zen pops this up to the back wall. NAS almost fakes like he's taking an aerial shot, but instead goes to the wall, catches it, brings it to the ground, and cuts it in to make it 3-3. It's because NAS is rocking the NA Octane. Zen dunked clean. NAS tried a psycho earlier. He's going to try one again! The POV buff! Zen does need to tap it in, but it's a great pass indeed. As NAS launches it way over the top of Tempo. You saw Tempo pre-jump there and realized, oh, he got cooked. Zen is one of the better players in the world. I think he's going to be able to handle that tap-in. Gifted to him by NAS. Zen sidewall. Redirects denied. NAS, air dribble bump. Dude, NAS has been killing it since we went to his POV. Do we want to switch POVs in order to try and help out the other team come back? That's the question. NAS looks down, sees that Zen. Oh! Oh, Zen, I actually think it was better to not back pass there. He dropped a sorry. I think the sorry was for the miss, not for the back pass, but NAS has an open net, it would seem. Oh, he's going to miss as well. I say open. Obviously, the window was fairly small, but there was a chance to just shoot a power shot that no one could stop, and I expect everything of these pros. But NAS did just barely miss. And got a bit overzealous on that take, and a fake off this one. Tempo didn't fall for it for a second. NAS touch towards the net, soft shot. Atto can't clear it, can't make a meaningful save as he placed it out behind him. And Zen will follow it up and make it 6-3. I'm thinking we're going to see a NAS and Zen win. What do you guys want POV next game? We have 5 games left. We could do 1 game of each player's POV. So we just did NAS. Oh my goodness, what a pass. NAS just perfectly set up for the long shot. 7-3. Atto is winning. We could do Atto POV next. We can't do NAS because, well, that's good. All right, there's the next call. We're not going to make them confirm it with each other. We'll say one player is good enough. Zen and Nass win. 7-3. Next up, Atto, Zen, Oski, Tempo. Zen and Atto play together. We're going to watch this game from Atto POV. The current leader. Zen cannot make up any extra ground here since he's playing this one alongside Atto. But he still might as well win it. I think technically everybody is, you know, could probably make late runs. Nass, Oski, Tempo all tied at 3 now. I think if they played it well enough, they could maybe come back. The problem is, you know, some of them have to team with Atto, who has the big lead. So they can't get wins without being on his team. I think this scoreboard is currently correct. But I have it on the spreadsheet. Yeah, it should be 6 for Atto, 5 for Zen, 3 for everybody else. We'll get 1 game on each player POV as we finish here. We just got Nass. Now we'll watch a little bit of Atto. Atto wanted that midfield 100, but ultimately it's just playing very safe. Zen is waiting out upfield. Atto, did he find him? Oh my goodness, he almost did. That is just ridiculous what these guys are doing in this game. Zen floating up the ceiling all the way down the field. They even tried to pre-jump him to stop him, but Atto was able to find the arc over the top. Now he's going to look for Zen again. He is just in passing POV right now. Atto, air dribble. Zen is just hanging out upfield. Has Zen come back from the midfield line? Have these two decided that Atto is going to play exclusively in the back half and Zen is going to play exclusively in the front half? Atto's finally moving in himself, and he does get a shot that Oski saves. But now back into defensive half POV as he's going to get demoed. And Tempo is going to take on an air dribble against Zen. Zen does enough work. Doesn't have boost to pick up here, but will back pass to Atto, who gets bumped away. So it'll be again Zen in the offensive half. Atto hanging out behind. Atto picks up a demo. Has Tempo low on boost. Zen in the opposite corner. Atto's going to try and shoot himself, and he does. He gets it in the bottom right. And Atto takes the lead once again. Great outplay. Brought it to the ceiling, but kept it far away from Tempo, who was up the back wall, or up the back wall to the ceiling. Able to find a way to squeeze it in the bottom rights. Atto, 2 saves to keep the score sheet clean against them. Zen got chipped the ball around him. Oh, Pogo! We got to see it from defender POV, just how tough it can be to save, but I'll show you Tempo's POV as well. Atto turning to dive in and gets caught out. It's funny how much harder it is to see that when we're watching from defender POV. You guys know me. When we're watching from the offensive POV, I'm looking out for them every second. It's like the only thing I'm looking for. So I know when we're likely to see a Pogo, but watching from Atto POV, did not see it coming. Tempo caught him out, and it's a 1-1 game. Zen not going to be able to get one more touch here. Atto pass to the top of the arena. Oh, another 50 is going to leave a wide open net, and of course a mechie way to get a wide open net. But Oski not expecting that perfect 50. And now Atto and Zen up 2-1. Atto has been playing well. That reset can't be a pass. Doesn't have an angle to give it to Zen. Zen's going to go for a demo. 2 demos. But the ball far out the midfield. Zen recognizing he should not go for that ball with 0 boost. Just let Atto go to work. He's been cooking, so why not? Little reverse wave dash. It seemed like he was going to maybe do. Half flips away. Tempo Forced into an air dribble, but got underneath Zen. And a wide open net. Atto is thinking, I'll just force to allow Zen to go to work, but Tempo over one, fakes Zen out. Tempo's been playing great as well. 2-2. Oski and Tempo could close the gap on Zen here. Close really on both of them, both of the leaders. This is one of the closer 2v2 mix-ups I've seen. I feel like by now it's a clear, obvious leader with everyone clawing to catch up. But I mean, Atto is really not that far in the lead, especially if Oski and Tempo could steal this game. Tempo has the reset. Interesting. Watching from player preview, it feels like we shouldn't get to see that reset, but we are spectating. Atto swinging wide, preventing Tempo from being able to play on the ground. Actually, Oski is chasing down a demo on Atto, who feels like he's not even really involved in the play, but wouldn't be able to stop Zen, who is in the air. Atto dribble. Got to reset off of Tempo's car. Zen's going to take it back. No boost for Atto to help him out on this dribble, but Zen actually keeps it close. Atto taps it away. So Tempo, does he want to keep it in the air? Atto tried to jump over the top of him to stop him. Tempo keeps it up. Pass, bump. It's open. It's in. Tempo is cooking in this series or in this game. Look at the wall dash too as well. We got to switch to his POV. Double jump bump. It's in. It's a goal. It's Oski Tempo closing the gap. Atto and Nas versus Oski Zen. I think without doing the math, we have 4 matches left. It feels like almost anybody could win. Maybe not Nas. Nas could get to 7. But can he get to 7 without someone else just being ahead of him? Because he has to win all of his, even if he wins every last game. Because he does play all last 4 games. He has to win them alongside everybody else, so they'll probably also get wins and stay ahead of him. But, I mean, the reality is, this is as close as I've ever seen these. Zen not going to be back to stop this open. Oh, let's go to another POV. Let's do, we haven't done Oski POV. Let's do Oski POV. We have Oski POV left. We have Zen POV left. And we have maybe Nas POV left? No, we did not. We started with Nas. Tempo POV. Oski has 5 boosts. Batira and Moxie, have Batira and Moxie played? They played today. People are talking about a Batira Moxie game. Oski, tons of faith, running out ahead, tried to bump Nas and might have made him awkward even if he didn't demo him. And he's going to allow Zen to dribble it in for the tie game. Moxie won Game 7 OT. Was that just Moxie setting up his own matches? Like he's been doing with Raziers? I have terrible news for us. For us commentators. The players have finally figured it out. I knew this day would come. Ooh, nice. Pinch pass from the back wall. The commentators have officially been cut out of the picture. Time to get my McDonald's application. He did a best of 7 against Nas. How did that one go? Oof. Felt like a potential scoring chance there for Oski and Zen. Well, not for Oski and Zen, for Atto and Nas. We're on Oski POV. Moxie won. Moxie didn't look quite as strong as we're used to seeing in the Fear Frenzy, but that seems to have lit the fire that I'd expected it would, and it seems like he's gotten a lot better results ever since then. Oski just shadowing too much, allowing this flick to go in. I mean, he was watching this all the way through, but just was not able to get up and stop that. Nas and Atto. Is this the last time Nas plays with Atto? Because he could push Atto to 7 wins, and maybe there's a chance he could just win the rest of them and end up tying him, as long as he doesn't play with him again. He did Appjack and Nupo too. Oh no. It's over. I gotta hit up Moxie. Surely he wants an English stream for all of these matches. Oski resets, gets saved, but does the hard work to set it up, and Zen able to finish it off. Zen air dribbling against both defenders. Oski passed himself, wasn't quick enough. What a flip back when he recognized he had lost the 15. Nas had taken the ball away. Just switches to that backflip to land so clean. Such a nifty recovery. Air dribble bump. Why not go cringe? Atto saves it though, and Nas says, what a save. He's glad to find out the cringe did not pay off. Minute left to go. Oski there. Stop this one, couldn't help but be in Zen's way. As Oski, a little camera check there to see what he was potentially going to have to get around, but didn't really make it very far anyways. Oski wanted the bump on Atto. Didn't get it. Nash shots. Sent to the ceiling by Zen. 37 seconds. Chance here for Oski and Zen. Soft flip up to Atto, though, means he's likely to control it and maybe end possession immediately. In fact, they're going back the other way. These boosts will not spawn for Oski. He's got to defend with 0. Zen cleans it up, at least slightly. Now boost in the tank for Zen and Oski in their final moments. Oski is able to get the demo, so Zen's in a 1v1. Can he beat Nas? He wants to bump as well. Nas got the reset save. Sent it into the corner of his nets and outs. And that was probably their last chance. It was a good off-ball demo. Oski has actually been doing that a lot. I don't know if he went for it as much while we've been watching his POV, but he's been going for a ton of kind of out-of-the-play demos, it feels like, that could eventually give his team an edge and get a goal. But Atto and Nas will win. 4-2. 3 games left. Atto looking like the front runner. Zen has to sit out now, which is a big deal if you're looking to have Zen take over his spot. Game number 13. Quite a lot of games in these. We're actually crushing through it. I swear it normally takes like almost 2.5 hours is what I've warned people, because I feel like we've done this before and it can take that long, but we have been flying through and it's looking like it should probably end up taking a little bit under 2 hours. Nas chip to the crossbar and in. Whose POV do we still need? Tempo POV? Okay. Tempo POV. Sorry, I've been recognizing it late. I got a lot of things to set up. Tempo POV. He is now again tied for last with Oski and Nas. It's Zen and Atto who creep out ahead. But Tempo has had really good performances in those last few games and does not have to sit out, which is kind of a big deal. Tempo could win all his last 3 games and finish on 7. And he also doesn't team with Atto, so he could actually tie Atto. Atto still has to sit as well. So if Tempo wins these last 3, I mean, we're looking at ties. I don't know how it works out for everyone else. It'll give Nas, Oski, and Zen all a win, but he would still be ahead of them. So this doesn't happen. It does not happen usually that someone can, who's tied for last could still win it all this late in the series. But Tempo is capable of winning it all. Or at least tying, and then maybe we go to a tiebreaker where they can pick whatever teammates they want. Oh, did I don't know wall? What did Nas ask? In-game chat. Sorry, let me check it. Did he type it in? What did he say? What was his question? I responded to Atto, did not. How many games left? Oh, I'll let them know. 3 games was his question? Okay, that is correct. Oski, nice double. We gotta go back to Tempo POV. 3 games, including this one. Can I get a Tepmo in chat? Tempo playing once upon a time in the Dominus and a backwards hat, but has since given up on that life. Switched to the Fennec. Specifically, I was referring to the Tepmo that makes the that makes the hat pop up, the 7TV emote, but you can type it however you want. I won't tell you how to live your life. Tempo far out of the play, camping as he waits for this boost to respawn. Trusting in Nas to make this first save. Didn't at all seem to be worried about a follow-up. Knew Atto was far away. Chance maybe here for Tempo. Can be tough to find a way through. He's gonna go pancake, resets, and doesn't get anything. Nas half flip, steal this one away, creating a scoring opportunity. Nas can't follow it up. He tried, but he sent it high to the ceiling. Tempo leaving that midfield 100, even though there was no midfield 100. But it did seem like turning his path late in case Nas, as soon as he recognized Nas, would be the one picking it up. 1-1. An important game here. I do think Tempo has to win here. We were just talking about how a last place player could still win, or at least tie for a win. But he no longer can if his team doesn't win right now. Nas, reset top shelf. Tempo. Easy tap in to make it 2-1. Tap in POV. I do have a spreadsheet over here. I'll show you guys at the end. It actually has some neat stats. It keeps track of which duos were the best throughout the whole thing, who played best with who. You know, after somebody wins, we'll get to be able to see who they won with, who they lost with. I remember last time we ran it, Zen went 2-1 with every single partner, and that's how he ended up winning. Ooh, nice last touch. Nas was also being a pest upfield, making this a bit easier on Tempo by trying to chase Atto down, but it was that one more touch after Atto decided to dive in. Tempo camping out midfield. Actually, I think that camera check was to see where his teammate was. He wanted to know where Nas was, see if he'd be following up his touch at all. Oski and Atto just went for a pool shot. It was Atto bumping a teammate. He's done many times. This time, I'm going to say he did on purpose maybe to try and get a pool shot attempt on net. But it doesn't pay off. A lot of camera work here from Tempo to see where his teammate's at. Someone was asking if they're in comms. I would guess none of them are, for a couple reasons. Not only because they don't play ranked, but also because they switch their teammate every single game, so they'd have to be jumping around in Discord every game if they wanted to have clear comms, which I don't think they care too much about. Probably just playing it like it's ranked. No comms at all. So Tempo might have to look for where his teammate is on occasion because of that. Tempo just needs to hit the ground and is mustying it, sending it up high. Atto doesn't get anything that Nas can't stop. And Tempo and Nas creeping back on Atto, who had the lead. Maybe we can do 2 double Zen POVs for the fans. Game number 14. We're deep into it. And I do need to adjust for that Tempo Nas win. Tempo is now at 5, and so is Nas, without anyone else moving on the leaderboard, which means Zen, Nas, Tempo all tied for second. Oski at 4, Atto at 7. Atto has to sit out right now, though, so he has only 1 more game to play. At best, he finishes at 8. Tempo, Nas, and Zen all trying to creep back up to him. We already did the math for Tempo, and it's possible. Tempo can tie him. He just has to win out these last 2 games. Zen doesn't have to sit, and neither does Nas. So neither of them have to sit. Zen and Nas can put themselves in a good spot, and then they'll play against each other to end alongside Atto. So Zen has a chance, I think, to tie. I think Nas might not, because Nas has to play with Zen and Atto to finish. So he basically has to play with the people who would beat him if he wins. So Nas actually might be out of it already. Tempo is not, Zen is not. Those 2 can potentially take over and beat Atto. Zen dropping this one to Nas, and Nas will flick over the top of Tempo. This has been the closest one I think I've ever seen. I'm not sure if it's the closest one we've ever had. Or we on my stream probably. We haven't done too many on my stream. I'm sure it is for me, but maybe there's been some other ones that have been down to the wire. I feel like a tie is quite likely here. It'll be either an Atto win or a tie. I'll let those guys decide after we get there if they would rather play to break the tie or if they just want to split the 100. Zen not likely to be able to get back to stop this one as Nas drops the sorry. Zen did not pick up any boost on the way back. Fear, the stream is awesome sauce, for real, for real. Keep up the good work. You can't wait to see what you think of next. And yet it's still obviously not the AI bots that we had a couple days ago. Just too hard. You know how AI struggles to perfectly replicate the art of a human chat? Seems like it works the other way as well. What happened if we go 7, win both? If you're tied... Oh, he wants spectator. What's spectator? Is it I? How do you talk to just spectator? I feel like I only ever do it on accident. My suggestion to them is that they can pick a teammate and go for it, assuming they don't want the same teammate, or they can split it. Same as team chat. Oh right, just team. Oh yeah, spectator. There we go. If you are tied, you can split or pick a teammate and play tiebreaker. Either. Zen. Reset double for a 4th is clean. Stealing this off the top of Oski's car. And gets that first touch reset to send it in over the top of Tempo. Seems like Zen and Nas are eliminating Tempo right here. Tempo's had a good series or a good lobby. He specifically played really well towards the latter half of it, but it's probably not quite good enough to contend for a tie, which is what he would need to do. He needs to win out his last two. He can tie Atto. Instead, it'll be Zen or Nas. Or actually, it will just be Zen. Zen is basically playing for a tie because Nas plays alongside Atto for one of those games. So they'll both get wins if they win. So Nas can't catch up. Tempo going cringe to get a second goal. Zen dropping down off the resets. Zen does not need to score right now. Could settle for playing keep away. Try to back pass again. Zen's had a few different back passes. One that he said sorry for. Great save. Good read on where Oski was headed. Good patience from Zen. Waited it out. Able to make the save late. Tempo. Angle. Bounced out. He's robbed. Robbed of his opportunity. If that went in, I think they're still in it. They maybe get one more chance at a kickoff goal or a lengthy possession with a full minute left on the clock. Zen does miss this high. Because that doesn't go in, it's probably time to say goodbye to Tempo's chances. Zen baking up the back wall, mostly just hovering behind it. Knows he just needs to hang out with this ball, and the game will end in his favor. What a pre-jump read. Right exactly where Tempo was headed with that. All right, we'll talk a little bit more scenarios. Now it's actually easy because there's one game left. Here, I'll take that last second off the clock. Make them not do a kickoff. 5-2 Zen and Nas, which means Zen and Nas win an extra game. Both at 6. Game 15. We'll go Zen POV again. I think we hit every single POV, but Zen is currently playing for the tie with Atto. He's got Tempo as his teammates. Nas and Atto. I can actually look and see how both these duos have been doing so far because I actually have all these stats. Zen and Tempo are currently 1-1. They won one, they lost one. And Nas and Atto are 2-0. So this duo has not lost yet together. We'll see if Zen and Tempo can change that. Ooh, Zen. The resets and then a pre-flip to a demo. This is the last time he touched the ball. It's also 2 resets, by the way. I don't know why the reset indicator went off twice. Did he wave dash into the ball? Is there even more going on than I realized? Did he get a reset, wave dash into it again, then flip out ahead? If so, absolutely unbelievable by Zen. Atto able to pop it up to Nas, who then had an air dribble, just Tempo to beat, and he does. Zen slammed Atto off the ball, but Nas was there to take it over. You say the wave dash reset, but I feel like even if you wave dashed for a reset, you wouldn't get 2 indicators. You'd use your flip and you'd get 1 more indicator. Zen. A couple well-timed touches to get a ton of power out of his own corner. Has left Tempo to defend on low boost. Tempo handles it though and dishes the ball off to Zen. who gets quickly separated from the ball. Zen trying to find tempo for a shot. It's in. Tempo bumping Nas and leaking out upfield, picking up that attacking corner. And are these guys rocking the same exact decal, by the way? Is this decal synergy right now between Zen and Tempo? Release rope, we did some Tempo POV earlier. We're finishing off on Zen POV to... Oh my goodness, we're switching to Nas POV. Why have we seen two different pogo shots in this lobby? Nas demo, and then off the ceiling, pogo shot while at... Oh, that is so nice to get the perfect touch. Instead of just going for pure power on the pogo, it seems like he pulled away to make sure he got a touch on the edge of his car in order to slot it and not send it sailing too high. Zen not able to get the demo. He flipped through to get it. He's left Tempo by himself. Tempo's handled that. Little mini psycho to launch the ball away. Nas wanted a demo on Zen, but Zen saw that from a mile away, so he just camped out in the corner. Zen dunking this through. Halfway to go. Atto looking for the outright win. The $100 clean in his favor. Zen trying to either split it with him or force a tiebreaker. It's up to them. They've played a lot of 2v2. But if they want to keep going, I'd let them. Or they could 1v1 for it, which I think would be sick. But I'm not sure they want to. Nas flick top shelf. Might not matter with the way Atto and Nas are playing. Even games that have felt close have always been decided before overtime. Not a single overtime in all 14 games played so far. Zen instantly going to equalize with a close cheat. Chips it over the top of Nas, who was also cheating up, but not as quick. The ball did actually, maybe actually could have been fairly equal cheat, but the ball did slightly move in Zen's favor, which makes it tougher for Nas to catch up to. Zen sees an opportunity for a clean dribble if he just takes a beat. Lets Atto get out of the play, but Atto found his way back into it. And now Tempo finds himself in 1v2 defense, and he does handle it. He gets around Nas and saves Atto's low dribble. Zen, impossible angle. Not going to stop him from trying. What a quick read from Atto. Nas popped it out midfield. And Atto's just up so fast to beat Tempo to the ball. Tempo really had no choice of the way he was turned in, aimed towards the net. He's not going to be able to recover and beat Atto there either. He needed to just try and get up there and get it before him. But Atto had that swinging start from the corner to give him that extra speed. Zen pre-flipping, popping that ball up in order to make sure he got there quick enough. He needed Atto to not get a touch. Atto has an angle for a double. Zen camps it out, makes the save. Nas swinging around in net. Zero boost, what a flick! Nas was trying to keep, or sorry, Zen was trying to keep it down. Tempo follow-up is in. This is a tough flick to make. Zen is forced to go quickly. He cannot slow down his dribble like we often see in 1v1s. He has to play it at top speed in order to not allow Atto to get back. And you can often flick way too high when you do that. Zen manages to keep it just low enough to at least be followable by his teammates. This was a scenario that got a kickoff goal for Zen and Tempo earlier, but this time it's going to be Nas and Atto who benefits. This ball not as cleanly towards Zen on the cheat where he could chip it over. Instead, he has to try and 50, and Nas wins that 50. Tempo, did he just get a goal? He did. We're just trading kickoff goals back and forth. Zen forced this one through. Actually, too close of a cheat from Atto that the ball was basically over the top of them by the time he could even read the play. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Surely one team could adjust their kickoff strategy to prevent this, but instead That time it was Zen into Atto, bounced back off of Nas into the net. Is kickoffs nice? A quick chat? Why? What? They added new quick chats and I don't know which ones were added, but I can see quick offs nice. 33 seconds. Zen trying to force the tie. Drop down. Not nearly good enough. Tempo. Oh, we cut them both, though. It's just a free net now. 7-5. Zen is going to tie Atto. I'll let it wait out 25 seconds. I'll give them a few choices. Either they can split the 100. They can play 2v2 again. Pick any teammate they want. Or they can 1v1 for it. Unless Atto knows how to score a two-pointer, it should be a Zen and Tempo win, which means this is the final score. 7-5. You, Zen, and Atto tie. 1v1 boomer mode to break tie. I'm down with Atto's idea. 1v1 boomer to break tie. It's 7 for Zen, 7 for Atto. Best of one. Okay. What are boomer settings? Okay, yeah, that's better. That's so much better. Thank the Lord I don't have to do it myself. Holy cow. Can you tell me how many games? 15. You played 12 games, won 7. Because you should have sat out 3. A best of one. It is a $100 Boomer mode 1v1. We have the settings perfect, and it's first to 5. There is no time limit. The first to score 5 goals will get the $100. This is how Atto and Zen have elected to tie break their tie in the 2v2 mix-up. We have what they claim is the perfect boomer mode settings. And I'll be honest, I haven't watched boomer mode in a while. This ball is small, it looks like. It's like a ping pong ball. Last time I've watched boomer mode is Atto gonna boom a full field shot and dived in. This is how, if I'm playing boomer mode, this is how I'm scoring. But I have seen some ridiculous goals. Who is the boomer mode 1v1 GOAT, chat? Because I know I had heard that Justin had played a lot of boomer mode 1v1, but I know that was once upon a time. Oh, Zen got the angle out of the corner. Atto wasn't even worried. You could tell he wasn't thinking about getting back. Zen off of his own corner to the side wall and in. Genius. Fairy Peak? John Sandman? I know it's not John Sandman. No offense to him. Atto, I'll be honest, I don't know the meta at all here. I do know about Atto's one goal. If you get to sit in your own half and line up a long shot for long enough, you can score. So you have to be somewhat aggressive defensively to not allow a ball to set up like this one right here. If the ball's bouncing straight up and down in the air, these guys can set up a shot every time. So you have to dive in and make sure they can't do that. Zen, lob that one. Oh, that's going to be so tough to stop. Zen having to defend this ground shot, and I don't know what he was hoping for, but that rolled out perfectly to Atto. That was nightmare touch. It went right to where Atto gets a great aerial shot. Delayed kickoff from Atto. This ball is moving as slow as it ever will. The bounce gives it extra height. I don't understand. How does it ever slow down? See, this is a bit of a dangerous ball if you let it sit there forever. But clearly, because the bounce gives it so much extra height, it can get stuck bouncing up and down like that. See, Zen needs to be careful. Because Atto's going to try and dribble this ball. He just went for a demo instead. And then slammed it to his own back wall because he knows he can't touch it. If he touches it, it'll get out of his control. Zen demoed. Can Atto line something up? Ooh, he has a really good bounce in the midfield. Just tried to snipe the right side of the net. Missed wide. Zen has a pretty good ball right now. Oh my goodness. Crossbar down and out. Follow up is too much. He couldn't get the read. It should be a free tap in. Oh, a tough bounce. A perfect bounce if you're a Zen fan. Any other bounce that doesn't perfectly hit the corner should have been readable for Atto. Oh, what a shot from Zen. Atto denies it though. Zen is lining up a shot here almost always. They're making an easy save. Oh, the bounce went too high. Zen thought he had the lineup. And the ball just went way over the top of him. It does seem like first to 5 is going to be longer than a normal 1v1. As we're over 2 minutes 30. Only 2 goals for Atto. Zen not going to be allowed to go for a tight angle here. Zen is camping out. This seems like it could be dangerous. Atto has elected to just hover behind the ball. So he protected it. He got Zen to not dive. And now he can line... Oh, he's lining up a pass to himself. And how did Zen touch it so soft? I'm impressed that Zen got that light of a touch. There's a potential angle here. Ooh, Atto tried to air roll and get it, I think. But it takes such a soft touch, and he didn't get it in time. Zen couldn't get the follow-up. That was a potential free opportunity. Ooh, this is free. Gotta score these for Atto. He's not missing that. 3-1. Zen didn't expect that. How did Atto touch it so soft? I'm actually surprised he got such a soft touch to outplay Zen but still keep it in a, shootable position. Zen trying to shoot off his own backboard clearly. But Atto is there. Ooh, what a counter. Obviously hard to keep this ball down. Good save from Zen. Atto owned goal. Oh, no, he didn't. But he might as well have. Zen should hit. Oh, my goodness, Zen! You changed the settings to be what you wanted. That has to be a goal. Side flip. That's it. Yeah. Only way to keep it grounded and low enough. Oh, but it gets countered. See, this is the danger of putting in a long distance shot like this. You don't get it in, and that ground setup so easy. Now, here's the thing. It is first to 5. So Zen has essentially infinite time. He just needs to stop Atto from scoring one more time. Atto off his own backboard. It's not going to matter. Atto will take it. The $100 is all his. The boomer mode 1v1 he suggested was clearly playing into his own hands. GG's. Thanks for playing, guys. Atto wins. I don't know what that means. GG's.